Ah, college, the golden ticket to success, the gateway to a better future. Path to financial security, or is it? For many people, college is nothing more than really an expensive scam, in my opinion. I've always said for years and years and years, college is a scam. And the reason why I think it's a scam is simply because it's a way for universities to make more money from their students, off of the students, on the backs of students. And look, on the backs of really well-meaning parents. Think about it for a second. Your parents love you, and they'll get your parents in that initiation room, and they'll make those parents feel like this college is going to change their kids' lives forever. And if, as a parent, that's what we totally want to do for our kids. Let's start with the cost. College tuition is totally skyrocketing right now. Average student right now graduating, thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. You know it. Think about it. Textbooks, transportation. You're talking, what about housing, right? Housing, crazy cost. And the cost of college is growing faster than inflation. It always has, right? Inflation runs at, maybe 3% on average. College inflation always on average ran at like 7 or 8%. So it's difficult for anyone that wants to get through college. It's difficult for them to do it economically. All right, look, what about the benefits of college, right? Sure, college can open doors. It can lead to better job opportunities. But really in today's economy with inflation the way it is, and the amount of money that people are making in their jobs, especially after college, if they can even find a job, it just doesn't make that much sense like maybe it did in the 70s or 60s or 80s or whatever. So let's kind of break it down and let's see, what are some of the real reasons. Let's break down the whole college scam thing and let's have a conversation about whether it really is a scam or not. I mean, it's too expensive for the quality of education that you get. I mean, most of the things that you're learning in college, you can learn on the internet today. Number two, though, is you're forced to take classes that are generally irrelevant to your major. Think about that for a second. You see bartenders, they got a master's degree and they're bartending, right? Three, professors don't have a vested interest in your success. Because of tenure and things like that, they might not have a vested interest in your success. And the challenge with them not having a vested interest in your success is that you always want, when you're paying somebody money, right, for a coach, let's just say, you're always looking for that vested interest. If you teach me this, you're going to get this. If you give me this information, I'm going to do this for you. Well, I'll give you a perfect example. In my business, I coached hundreds and hundreds of people throughout the years. And these people that I personally affected, right? I personally coached them. The great thing about the situation for them is that they knew if I told them the right thing and they became successful, guess what? They made a lot of money, but I made money too. So I was always trying to do what's right for them. I was always trying to make sure that we were always on the same page. I was always trying to make sure that they were taken care of. I wanted them to succeed. I wanted them to win big. But think about these professors. You got college professors right now that have a thing called tenure, and they cannot be fired. So whether they give you good information or bad information, they can't be fired. They can be a great professor, can't be fired. If they're a horrible professor, they can't be fired. That's a bad system to run an organization that is trying to produce successful people. Number four, the textbooks are way too expensive. I mean, we're talking books that'll cost you $100, $150, $200 for a book full of paper. And by the way, some of these textbooks were written 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So in today's economy, they're irrelevant to what you're trying to learn today, what you need to learn in today's economy. Number 5, you're stuck with a mountain of debt. And we all know, there's good debt, there's bad debt. Some people might say, well, college education is good debt because I'm learning something and it can help me with my job afterwards. But this is the issue, is that 50% of kids that graduate college, they can't find a job. And 50% of those kids, guess where they live after they graduate from college? They go back and live with their parents. That's wild to me. Now, again, there's a lot of good things about college. If you want to be a doctor, you got to go to college. If you want to be a lawyer, you got to go to college. Engineers, you got to go to college. There's a lot of different degrees that you need to get to give you the type of job that you want. But if you're going for general education, if you're going for some sort of, arts degree or something like that, I don't know. I would recommend doing it through either personal coaching, a technical degree, or like a technical college that might be maybe a 1-year college or a half a year college, or just learning the information from the internet. You'll be much better off than creating mountains of student debt. That student debt will stay with you forever. And by the way, they will continue to take that student debt out of, because you can't get rid of it, right? So they'll end up taking that debt or those payments or one day out of your Social Security. Number 6, I know I already talked about this, but look, the job market in today's world is hugely competitive. And so after you get out of college, sometimes it's hard to find a job. And if you can't find a job and you got student loans that you got to pay, you're in a whole lot of, deep shit at that point. So number 7 is you don't get enough hands-on experience to be prepared for the real world. And I think this is kind of a crazy situation that, you have somebody that, right after high school, he goes and he interns in the job, some major corporation, kind of works himself up, and he's doing odd jobs in the beginning, and then he gets a little manager degree, and then he becomes a supervisor. Next thing you know, the guy, reaches, CEO of the company or something like that. Well, you have another person that comes in right directly from college, and the company says, hey, look, tell us about your qualifications. And they talk about what they learned in college. And the company's like, well, wait a minute. The information that has no relevance to our company today. Our company uses different programs than you've learned. Some of these programs that college professors are teaching in college are not even being used anymore. A lot of the information that college professors are using, this is old information that they're using. So it's really sad because you paid all this money to get this information, but then the job market doesn't even need that information anymore. They're not even going to pay you for your expertise because you're irrelevant at this point. After all these years you spent in college, you're now irrelevant. That's a bad situation to be in. So my advice to you is start at the bottom if you have to, even for less money from the corporation, and work your way up, or stay relevant by learning things that are relevant from the internet, maybe taking some classes, some online courses and things like that are going to teach you a specific software or program that is going to be relevant no matter where you go. Look, bottom line is college is a major, major scam for so many different reasons. But I think that you got to look inside yourself and ask yourself why you're going to college. Are you going to college because you want to become a doctor? Are you going to college because you want to party? And I think that you would agree that there are a lot of kids out there. They're going to college because they want to party. They want to join a fraternity. They think it's fun. They just want that college experience. Imagine the colleges today. Some of these colleges, they're they got swimming pools and lazy rivers and incredible resort style amenities. it's just kind of crazy. It's almost like you're going on vacation for a couple of years with some of these colleges. And I don't know, I thought college was designed for you to get that extra bit of learning so you can go directly into a field. Another thing I would just like to add is some of your high schools have designed themselves to give you the information that you need. So as soon as you get out of high school, you'll have a field. You'll actually be able to get a job somewhere. It might not be a doctor or a lawyer, but there's a lot of jobs that you can learn directly in high school today. So think about, if you're in high school right now, think about taking some courses. Especially if it's in a field that you want to go into after high school, you can eliminate college. Take those courses while you're in high school. Get that information while you're in high school. Get the coaches. Get the online courses or whatever before you graduate high school. Get yourself prepared so as soon as high school's done, you'll be able to make money right away. I just look at my situation, and after high school, I ended up going to college, little community colleges for a couple of years. I never graduated or anything like that. I actually, believe it or not, I was going to a math class, and I was, finally, I think for my second or third time I was taking this class. I'd never been good at math. And I had asked the professor, I said, because I started a financial business, and I had to go to this big event in another state. And so I asked the professor, I said, would you mind if I took the test before or after or something? I was trying to figure out something that I can do so I can go to this big event, because the big event was for my business. This is for my future. This is something that was important for me to make money. I wasn't making money in college. I was paying college money. And I said, can you help me out? And the guy looked at me and he says, I don't care who you are. I don't care your problem. I don't care your situation. If you're not at this, you don't take this test on this day at this time, you're going to fail the entire class. And believe it or not, that was the last time I've ever stepped foot on a college campus. I quit college on the spot. I ended up going to the big event. And 3 years later, I was making $100,000 a year. 7 years later, I was making $500,000 a year. And by the way, because I hooked up with a bunch of millionaires, with a bunch of really successful people and built an incredible business, I saved my money and I invested it and I got financially independent. I had $1 million saved by 28. Literally semi-retired at the age of 28 years old. Changed my life forever, that decision. Matter of fact, that if I don't know what the guy's name is, but man, if I could ever meet that college professor, that math college professor, if I could meet this guy, oh my God, he changed my life forever. This dude changed my life, because if not for him, I'd have probably stayed in college. I probably went and got a job, an average and ordinary job like everybody else, making average and ordinary money like everybody else. Instead, I ended up, starting a company, and the rest is history. Choose wisely. Think about why you're going to college. Think about all the reasons to do it, and maybe just put a line down the middle. Look at the pros, look at the cons, but be honest, like sincerely honest, because you're spending a lot of money to do that. You're giving these colleges tons and tons of money, which, by the way, that's another subject, and I should probably talk about it another time. With one of the biggest pieces of the scam is the fact that these colleges are rich, literally rich. I mean, I think Harvard has something like $32 billion in their little coffers that they've saved up through the years. It's unreal. And so they have billions and billions of dollars, but they also take massive amounts of subsidies from the government. And on top of all that, they continue to raise the costs of college. Why would they raise the cost of college when they're already super, super rich? Doesn't make any sense. So if you want to perpetuate that situation for college campuses and colleges, I promise you, you're throwing away your money. In a lot of cases, why would you go to Harvard anyways? I mean, what's the difference? You graduate, at some little college that costs you $20,000 a year versus $75,000 a year. I mean, if you're going to go to college, you might as well do it right. Go to a community college for a couple of years, then, maybe end up with a big college or whatever. But, remember, it's about you. The job you get, the life that you build, what you create in your life, that's you. And just remember, most corporations, Google don't require a college education anymore. Apple doesn't require a college education anymore. So many different companies that do not require, I think Amazon doesn't require a college education anymore. So college is becoming more and more outdated. So be careful when you make that decision that you're going to make college your life and you're going to make college the only way for you to become successful. Like, oh man, they're not going to like me if I don't go to college. Well, that's not true anymore. But if you go into that interview with confidence, with focus, with discipline, and you've self-improved for 4 years. Imagine if you self-improved for 4 years. Imagine if you took some online courses for 4 years, what your life could look like. The kind of confidence you walk in the door, man, you know what you're doing. You know the programs, you know the software, you know the material, you've mastered your craft, and then you go there and you say, I know my stuff, I've worked with you for a while, I've interned for a while, I've worked from the lower levels of the company, I humbled myself here, and I want this supervisor job, I want this manager job, and I'm willing to work 24/7, 7 days a week, man, because I want to make sure that I can bring the most value to this company. And so, somebody goes into a job like that. I mean, what company's not going to hire that person? I mean, every company is looking for self-motivated people that are willing to work hard, that are willing to wake up earlier and go to bed later, and to do what it takes to help that company become more successful than it is today. And this is really the truth. I'm laying it all on the line. I know it doesn't sound fun because I know some of you are like, I really want to go to college and it looks so glamorous and fun. But most of the millionaires that I know today never went to college. And that's the truth. Most millionaires that I know in my life today, and I know a lot of them, okay? I know hundreds of millionaires. Most of those people, I would say 80% of those people never finished college. The choice is yours. If you enjoyed this video and you have some fierce comments or you have some disagreements or whatever, please like and subscribe. But also do me a favor and leave a comment, good or bad. Don't hold anything back. If I've gotten this whole thing wrong and you completely disagree with me, let me know how you disagree with me. And by the way, maybe we'll get on a call and we'll have a conversation. Who knows? Maybe we'll even do a Zoom and we could have a live debate on YouTube or Instagram or something like that. We can debate this subject live for everybody to see. Why not? Let's have a conversation. And look, at the end of the day, we all got our own opinions. This is just my opinion. You're going to do whatever you're going to do. And no matter what you do, though, I do wish you the best. I do, I am rooting for you. I'm rooting for everybody. I want everybody to do better. I want everybody to succeed. And you, I'm sure, if you're watching this video, you're motivated to change your life. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Just make sure that you continue to dream bigger. Most importantly, though, get after it and do it now. God bless you. We'll see you at the top. Thank you for watching our short clips on Alonzo Academy. If you'd like to watch the next short clip, click here. If you'd like to watch the entire podcast, click here.